Have you ever wondered how vegetable peels, fruit scraps, or even used coffee grounds, things we throw away every day, can actually become a new source of life for your garden? The truth is, the journey of making compost at home isn't just about reusing kitchen waste. It's a way for us to reconnect with nature, with our home, and even with our own lives. First, when you start gathering a little bit of organic waste each day, you'll realize that everything we consider trash still has value if we choose to give it a second chance. And second, this process teaches us to slow down, to observe the magical transformation from waste into rich soil, soil that nourishes plants and somehow nourishes our hearts too. I truly believe that no matter your age, with a bit of curiosity and patience, composting becomes more than an eco-friendly habit. It becomes a journey of personal growth, of sharing, of hope, and of discovering beauty in the smallest things. First, what is compost? If you've ever asked yourself where all those vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, or wilted leaves end up, compost is your simple and meaningful answer. Compost, often called organic or microbial fertilizer, is created by breaking down organic materials into nutrient-rich soil. It reduces household waste while giving back to the earth what it has always given us: fertility and life. I once had a friend who told me that after just a few months of composting kitchen scraps, her small garden completely transformed. The soil became softer, plants grew greener, and even the fruits tasted sweeter. Imagine if every household reused organic waste like that. How different our environment would look. Compost isn't just an environmental solution, it's a way to nourish the very ground we live on. Second, let's talk about the unexpected benefits composting brings, not just to your plants, but to your soul. Have you ever felt satisfaction from turning something useless into real value? When we gather leftover greens, wilted leaves, or fruit peels, we're not only cutting down on waste, we're protecting the environment around us. And every time I watch rich soil form out of things I once threw away, I feel a unique sense of creative joy, as if I created a tiny miracle. Many of my friends say composting brings them peace, mindfulness, and even saves money. Maybe it's the quiet beauty of watching something transform so positively that helps us appreciate each moment a little more. Third, so what kitchen waste can be used for compost? This is one of the most common questions beginners ask. The truth is, fruit peels, leftover vegetables, coffee grounds, tea leaves, and even eggshells are perfect compost materials. Imagine every time you peel an orange or chop vegetables, instead of tossing the scraps, you save them to feed the soil. It feels meaningful, doesn't it? But there are things to avoid, like meat, fish, bones, dairy, oil, and cooked food. They create bad odors and attract pests. A friend once tossed chicken bones into her compost bin and ended up with a smelly mess full of flies. Experts always say, stick to fresh, plant-based organic waste. Just that simple rule will make composting easy and effective. Fourth, getting started with composting at home is easier than you think. First, choose a bin, plastic, wood, or even something you repurpose, as long as it has a lid and good airflow. Second, pick a quiet, ventilated spot in your yard or balcony. Third, when layering materials, follow the basic rule. Alternate brown, dry layers like leaves or shredded paper with green, wet layers like veggie scraps or coffee grounds. Think of it like building a layered sandwich. Each part plays a role in the final result. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect at first. Composting, like life, rewards patience and small daily care. With each step, you're creating your own sustainable green cycle at home. Fifth, keeping your compost from smelling or attracting pests is easier than most people think. Odors happen when compost is too wet or lacks oxygen. I always mix dry materials like leaves with wet materials like vegetable scraps to balance moisture. Regularly turning the compost is like letting it breathe, preventing bad bacteria from taking over. To keep insects away, simply cover the top with a thin layer of soil or mulch. When I first started, I worried just like you might be now, but with a few tweaks, Everything became clean, simple, and odor-free. Sixth, how do you know when your compost is ready? If you're like most beginners, you'll feel excited, maybe even impatient to see your results. Compost is ready when it turns dark brown, crumbly, and no longer looks like the original materials. It should smell like fresh, earthy soil, not sour or rotten. I often test it by squeezing a handful. If it clumps lightly but crumbles easily, it's done. The process usually takes 2 to 6 months depending on temperature, moisture, and how often you turn it. Imagine touching that rich new soil, knowing you created a whole new source of life. There's nothing quite like it. Seventh, common composting mistakes and how to fix them. If you've ever opened your compost bin to find bad smells or a pile that's soaking wet or dry and hard, don't worry, everybody experiences this. A wet pile means too much moisture or not enough carbon-rich materials, so add dry leaves or paper and mix well. A dry pile needs water or fresh food scraps. Bad odors come from lack of oxygen or from adding animal-based waste. Just turn the pile more often and avoid meat, dairy, and oils. Compost is like a living system. If we listen and adjust gently, everything comes back into balance. Eighth, let me tell you about Mr. Min, an elderly friend I admire deeply. He began composting simply to reuse kitchen waste, but it changed much more than his trash habits. His once dry, lifeless garden is now lush and green and full of vegetables and flowers that seem to sparkle with new energy. He told me composting made him calmer, more mindful, more grateful for the little things. Composting feels like giving back to the earth what it gave me, he once said. And somehow, it helps me live a little kinder too. Have you ever felt that a small action could change your life in a big way? That's the quiet, beautiful philosophy behind composting. Ninth, from a scientific perspective, compost is truly a gift to the soil. It improves soil structure, increases water retention, boosts nutrients, and helps roots grow stronger. Studies show that compost reduces erosion and prevents nutrient runoff. Think of compost-enriched soil like a cushion that protects plants from harsh weather. It also reduces organic waste and harmful emissions. A farmer friend told me that ever since he used compost, his crops are greener, healthier, and his soil feels alive again. That's the quiet power of compost. 10th, how do you maintain composting as a long-term habit? The secret is to make it a natural part of your daily life. The joy of seeing new seedlings sprout from your own compost is powerful motivation. A friend once told me that just spending a few minutes each morning checking on his compost gives him energy for the whole day. Share your compost success with loved ones. Give them a plant or a handful of your homemade soil. Inspiration spreads easily. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Good habits grow slowly, just like seeds. 11th, compost isn't just fertilizer, it's endlessly useful. You can use it to revive poor, compacted soil. A friend of mine mixed compost into her rooftop garden soil, and within months, she had lush green vegetables without using any chemicals. A bag of homemade compost, carefully packaged, can even be a meaningful gift, like sharing health and care with someone you love. Sometimes the simplest gifts carry the most heart. 12th, now pause for a moment and ask yourself, what if every one of us started with something as small as composting? It may seem insignificant in a busy modern world, but simple, quiet actions have incredible power, like a tiny seed that eventually grows into a forest. If each of us contributes just a little, change will appear, not only in the environment, but also within ourselves. 13th, I want you to know that every small step matters, even starting with a handful of kitchen scraps today. You might hesitate or wonder if you can do it, but I promise, once you take the first step, the rest will follow naturally. I was once unsure too, but from those simple scraps, I helped build a greener, cleaner life. Try just once, and you'll feel the joy of turning trash into new life. For plants, for the soil, and even for your own spirit. I hope you take that first step. You're not alone on this journey, and I'm always here to go along with you. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you can continue joining Compost on the journey of turning waste into resources and living greener every day. See you in the next video.